Are we recording? Double check. Yes, we are. All right, so this is your last review reading of Portfolio 1. If you want any feedback on this past this date, bring it to me personally because after this, I'm done with Portfolio 1. And so I'm looking to almost finish up Portfolio 2 in the very near future. So, yep, I'm going to go through these quickly because, you've already got 2 rounds of feedback on them. So I'll be brief. If there's anything really glaring, then we'll address it as we see fit. Wish we had a bartering system. It'd be cool. Thank you for numbering. It's also nice, right? I get context. I can look at sign up screens. I think this is clever. I have something you want, something I want. Let's trade. Good. At least I understand. And the cool thing about bartering is it's not been digitized. So I think this is a worthwhile approach. What do I learn from this one? One, you might want to get your text inside on a few of these. It should be legible. I should be able to pick this up. Also, where do I start? Let's say what's the problem is your starting point. If you change the tone of blue, or let's not go green because green's kind of obvious. I'm gonna throw this. If you shift it to a teal, maybe. Just make it legible because I'm interested in the thought process. Is I can't understand it at that point. Cool, clever. I get idea, persona. You got it from doing research. 28. What does she want? Vegetables. Oh, man, I was talking to a friend today. He needs a system bad. How every page goes together. What do you mean, like? Let me read through this quickly. You get your Home Explorer wishlist basket calendar. Yo, making me do Sean. Doing this makes me yawn. My biggest thing is can you make this big enough to be legible? Right now, I'm 8 inches away from my screen, so does this work for other people? I do like seeing the entire thing laid out. Is there any reason why product is not bolded and everything else? Well, it's not true. Most things are bolded. Cool. I like quick and dirty sketches. I wonder, do you want to drop in some shading of orange to bring me into important things, or is it kind of irrelevant? Love the link. All right, cool. Good project. Cool. Love the project. Tough one to take on. How to eliminate gender stereotypes? Great question. I already zoomed in a little bit. I was wondering why that's writing on the edge. Can you scoot that in just to give a little spacing, a 1/4 inch, 1/8 of an inch. I think the image says it all. Junior crossing restrooms, cool. How are you unpacking this? Let me see if you're being consistent on the way you're aligning your text there. Not sure. Same thing. Can you just create a little space underneath? Right, I'm looking for relationships. So maybe the top of this line hits where the W is if you bring it up a notch. Color arrangement's nice. Okay. I'm going to spell check, ask you to do one little thing. Instead of how to apply gender consciousness psychological studies to design, how might we? Only because that's kind of an industry catching term. And so if you're asking a how might we statement, you're transitioning from I know information, let's get into solving. Spell check. Love it. Cool. I'm going to make a suggestion. I don't think you should do it. I really like these annotations. They're very nice. My thoughts before they go and grab these things, they should wash their hands. I don't think it's necessary, but it just came to my mind. Flexi gloves, flexi gloves. All right, my eyes go here first. All right, so you want more leisure entertainments and fitness activities. Probably going to take this into gardening. That's my guess. Okay. I like the graphics. It's very colorful, very fun. My biggest question is, so what? You have these pieces of information. Why are they important, and what are you going to do with them? We summarize pathological needs and social needs. Observations, we found that elderly like to exercise with their hands. I knew that already, though, because that's like leisure and fitness. So it's not really interesting information yet. Okay, so you decide to do smart gloves. Why are they smart? Don't do hyphenations, please. Don't do orphans, please. Really, all you have to do is hit enter on abilities. It's probably going to kick over the and and's going to kick over continuous, so easy fix there. Okay, why are gloves a good solution, and why are they smart? I see you did this. I should know why. After the test, we found wires easy to angle and break. We designed the gloves. The gloves needed to be easily assembled and cleanable. You tell me it's smart gloves, but I still don't know whether they're smart. Yes. So how do you use it? Is it like for doing like air guitar? Does it monitor how active they are? Let's see. You push it, connect the wires to the glove, or you just kind of install that little module, turn it on, start the game. What does the game look like? Same thing. Operate the game, take off. And like, do they really want to play games, or like, do they want to interact with their grandchildren or do their hobbies? So I like this. I think this is good. The downside with it is it's kind of creepy. Like what I'd rather see, let's see, playing with friends, if you would Photoshop a glove on this hand, that's what we're going for, right? Not this creepy person hanging in front. So I appreciate the work getting this, but I think it misses the mark and it comes across being creepy. Could you show elderly people with a Photoshop glove on enjoying their lives, like doing these things? And I think it's worth actually articulating a little bit more, like, remind me, so when they're bonding with family, how does it help? When they're exercising memory, how does it help? When they're composing rhythm, how does it help? All right, what is it? Why? I wonder if you can reduce, well, we got a bit of a mix that I don't like so much. Let's see if it's continuous. All right, so you're consistent all the way through. I think I know that girl. Your headers are sans serif and your body is serifed. That's all right. If you like it, go with it. Like here, it doesn't bother me. Here, it kind of does. Like, keep in mind, I'm not going to read anything like past 3 lines. Not because I'm lazy. It's just I got other things to do, and I think other people are like me. This also feels weird. I might try center lining these things. No weeds needs to go up top because if not, it's going to feel weird. And all your vertical spacing, if they're different topics, so use is 90 and plants grow twice as fast, that spacing is fine. But when you have a sentence that needs to be kind of connected and read as one, then you might want to decrease vertical spacing. Also, we don't want to change around font sizes. Let's go with this one. It feels this is more bold and slightly larger than that one. So maintain this font choice. After learning aquaponics, I spoke with Dr. Jeff, and then I'm gone. So if you want to say it really quickly, or bold, what I should really go to. Problems, large and unportable. And like I think we're mixing kind of color schemes up. Let's go green on this one. It is a green project. You either go all blue or all green. Mixing back and forth feels weird, especially like right here, right? If you just go with one color, it's homogeneous. If not, it feels kind of like this. What's up with the box on a box? Like, keep in mind, it's not bad. Are you doing it all the way through? No. So why are you doing box on a box there? Did you do anywhere else? No. So Ting, I'm not really sure if this is gonna actually. It's not bad. It's just kind of wasteful. It's like if you want me to look at the image, make the image big. I wouldn't call it a solution. You haven't solved it yet. Could we write a design opportunity? And really this needs to be big or more apparent or like, or maybe you ask yourself a question, how can we do these things? In order we must fulfill 3 criteria. Here's our criteria. Come on. I mean, you're right. These words are correct. All right. It works. I wouldn't have these be the same size. That's primary. Okay, image is primary. Text is secondary. This extra little bit on top is tertiary. So really they shouldn't be as bold. They need to be knocked back a bit. And then my biggest question is, do you fulfill those things? How are these portable? How are these temperature consistent? And how are they space saving? This is, I'm not sure if this is going to work because you talk about being safe spacing. Of course, it's going to be space saving if there's like nothing else in the house. So props, I do like context. Fish can help, but I don't know if it's enough. So thank you for doing that. This feels kind of like a hot mess. Instead of persona Winnie, how about just meet Winnie Sadowski? Put a dollar bill sign right there. Where's she living? Goodness. California? Oh, she's poor then. Even if she's a tiny home, she's poor. Like it's like $40,000 in Alabama. I do like that quote. Good question. He's like, this is your inspiration. And if it is your inspiration, how did that fold into your design process? Same thing I've told other people, get rid of concept. It doesn't matter at this point. I just want to know about your ideas. Could we name these concepts instead of giving them things? Because like naming it might give me insights into what it does. Hate. This is good, but maybe this is better on another page. If you got rid of this, could you... Oh, this is 2 pages. kill that off. Because I don't need no scale yet. As long as you show me scale at some point, I'll get it. Maybe 2 images talking about function and then your diagram. This feels... Sorry, when it gets late, I have no filter, and I'm not going to stop now. This feels stupid. Like, the arcing components, but I don't know what these things are. 15-gallon tank, but it's empty, so it's difficult for me to really know that's a 15-gallon tank. Water sensors, where are they? Tubing, where is it? 2 pumps, where? Shelving cabinets, check. LED lights, where? Plant pods. I bet it's these things, but if they had plants, then I would know for sure. So what I'd rather you do is this be a large image and just do call outs. This is this part, this is this part, this is this part, this is this part. And once again, color change. Now we're kind of working with the sky blue. And it needs to be done in like a tiny home that is actually full and you bring attention to it, because like anybody could make an aquaponics system for here. Rusty's thing could probably fit in there. Okay. Sustainable and environment. What do you mean by environment? How about self-expression? Better sketches, thank you for doing that. I'm still wondering, like, okay, maybe this is a work project. You're like, I did these sketches and then the challenges were in the process. Prepping materials with a color effect. Make sure, is it affect or effect? I don't know, but I want you to know. Okay. Okay. I was thinking like, these are all the same, Kendall. Like, I can tell that you're doing iterations. What I'm more interested in is what were you going for? You're trying to create a contrast, but trying to say in natural tones. I think that might be more interesting to talk about. Process. All right, at least you're giving me a reason here. We might need to fix the white balance on that because Caucasian hand. I don't know. It's much better. Now that you have these little kind of call outs to give me insight to it, I think it's still like take it with a grain of salt. In terms of being a heavy project, it's still pretty light. But for a quick project, just kind of exploring some things, talking about aesthetics, I think it's successful. Okay. What's up with the 0? OR. Alright. August, I don't mind if you do spreads. You have the autonomy to make that choice, but when you show it to me and it's supposed to be in spreads, I need you to export them as spreads. Because I'm trying to put this in my head. Pieces together in my head, it's not going to do as good. Weiss go to the last mile commute seems simple, but behind the extremely complex system, a present long distance advantageous sentence. Will these be big enough for me to understand what you're doing? Or do you just want to show me that you did a lot of sketches? Which one came first, the scooter or go-kart? Great question. Why the go-kart? I'm not going to read all this. You've got to bring my attention to more important things. And why did we 3D print something? What were you doing with those 3D prints? All right, you've got, I need more information. Keep in mind, I'm not going to read this because next I install complete powertrain, test the performance and stability, proving practical. That's what I read. So what do I need to know about this? Good details. My problem with this is You're showing details, which I kind of zoomed in, but I'm zoomed so far out I can't tell what you're trying to communicate towards me. What if you do 2 zoomed in wide images? I'm going to Photoshop some extra gray, but right now I'm looking at small details and I can't see the details. Safe steering, cool. And make sure you're being consistent. I guess a little bit. All right. Actually, no. This is the first time you're overlapping. So I'd rather you move this down a little bit and have self-balance kind of sitting on top, even if you have to scale down the font size of, what is it, safe balance. Fast charger, go kart is here. Same thing with this one. Like, I want to see details, but they're so small I can't see them. The other thing is just you have a ton of text and I'm not going to read it, so bring attention to something I can scan through it and decide if I like the project. Aquaponics, Aquafina. Alright, you're doing the same thing August did. Is if you do want to go spritz, and I'm not opposed to spreads, I just think they bring about problems when you go to one, emailing your PDF, and 2, putting it on a website, because now it's half the vertical size because it can only fit the width of my screen. So I'll try to imagine these are together. Is Y Vertical the name of it? Or is it Joe Aquaponics? Like, this feels iconic. Not like a question, but like a logo. Alright. There's 4 major problems that are facing a modern city, which create huge challenge for urban plantation. Let's not use the word plantation. It kind of has some negative connotations. Urban farming, I think, would be better. And if these are 4 major problems, let's make these more bold. Space saving, I would make these just a bit bigger. Right? So now we know 4 problems, 4 opportunities. You're exploring through sketches. I like the way this is done. That's nice. Final options? Or do all these pieces go into one? I don't call it a solution, because really, until you produce it in the industry, they're all final concept, final idea, final iteration might be better words. Good flow lines, LED light. Let's see what you do with the final ones that you're showing me. Sprout box, that's okay. Alright, yeah, so show me how it works. Good. Can we make these lights look more like lights? Like, they need to be bright and shiny. Right now they're just very much pink. Power plug assembly. Magnetic attraction. Alright. So that feels okay. It's a little bit scrunched, scaled down. That's okay. We got to get rid of that. Nutrient flow, good. Basic feature, interface. Hooray. It just feels like a long project after a while. It's like I'm going and going and going and going. If I was going to cut 2 things out, it would be maybe some of your foam models, or maybe some of your renderings. Like, try not to duplicate information. Thumb's getting a blister from using this mouse so much. Ms. Patrick. Okay. Good information. What's the goal? Good color change. What's the pro? 1, redesign. 2, build construction. Good. I like the QR code. Keep in mind, it's taking me to a cell phone site, so make sure that's correct. You don't want to embarrass yourself. Existing design, got it. Got it, like what you're improving. Content, sure. I don't really know if it's necessary, but it's not bad information. Existing house, said this before, get rid of that tree, then make sure like these are grouped a little bit better. The reason why I say that is because this number is more closely related to this object. So is it 1961 or early 1970s? I can guess, but like I don't want to guess. So help that visually be a little bit more clear. Good, good. Are these questions? I think they are. If these are questions, then I go in here looking for an answer, and that tells me transverse opposed to longitudinal. I think that could be successful. File design, cool. Let's give me some views of the inside. 1, 2. These are going to be way too small. How can we zoom these in so I understand? And like, do we actually need the word views here? Because, I mean, they look like drawings. So based on what you've done, I think it can be intuitive. So if you reclaim a little bit of space, could we scale up the macro, and so I understand the micro? Let's build, cool. All right, I'm better with this. The reason why it shows that this is kind of the end of your process. So this is y'all. This is what it's going to be. I think this is a better ending. You can do a link to what it is now, but in terms of your contribution, I think this makes better sense. Aquapino. What's a little cross grid? Aquaponics, fish tank, plant culture, purify the water for fish. Cool. Stats, price range, 1/3. Household users got a garden. That's a gallon range. What is the change? It's too complex. Aesthetic style. Oh goodness, aesthetic style. Likes alteration expansion. Feels too DIY. I'd go with that. Deciding a market. That's not decide a market. Well, how else can we say this? Understanding a market. I think that'd be a better word to use. Healthy, sustainable, cooking friends, sparse and refined. Branding. All right, I like your justification. I like how we're getting to solving the aquaponics, because that's what I feel like I'm here for. I'd like to get rid of concept 2, concept 4, concept 9, concept 12, concept 14, mostly because I don't know why they distract me so much. I might be crazy in the only one, but I want to see content, and then I want to see volume, and then I want to see specificity. This is a weird view. If you rotated this 180, would it still feel weird? Because this is like I'm laying down on the roof. And before you jump into these, I think, yeah, show me how the overall works. Like, what is a big image? And then you can give me details. Go without it, I'm a little bit lost. Is there a visual cue you can give me? I'd flip-flop from how it works and then go into details, color range. Yeah, still feel uncertain about this guy. In my perfect world, I'd wish this was more in context, like a Photoshop composite, but it works for the time being. All right, the famous chair all the way in Dudley. 5 weeks to explore materials, steel and wood. Have these rigid materials come across. How else am I going to say that? I wanted to present traditionally rigid materials in a way that would be comfortable and have high aesthetic style. You just got chumming cool. Prototyping, what did you learn? Good. I think craftsmanship's one word. It sounds pretentious. Sorry if I put you that direction, but I had great craftsmanship and execution. I used a vacuum bag. It's good. How else can we say that doesn't sound pompous? Like that went in your first mold. Soon after making my first mold, I realized I could drive down cost and maintain a high level of aesthetic output by reinterpreting the same pieces. How do you say that but less? So take out this, I had craftsmanship, and just be honest, like I did one, it worked really well, and I realized by using the same piece over and over, I had a high quality output, but less work. Cool. You just changed font sizes on me. Yeah, you're kind of doing a little bit. Could we knock this up a little bit? Like 4-point sizes. 4 might be too high. It's just like I'm interested in this. I want to read it. And this is a touch small. Good. Good. Alright, we out. First mile, last mile can take only so far. Public transportation, 4 miles walking each day, easy and accessible. Problems identified, storage, compactability, and trends. Trends like what? Is there another word than trends? Like I know what you're saying. Maybe that is the best word. Research. I want to call this, instead of like research, and they call this opportunities. And we need like a transition. So if these are the things you researched, hey, there's no storage. I know we're using the same idea. It's an opportunity, but it shows storage differently. I need to know this is what the synthesized information plugged into. This is what I'm going to do with it. All right, I'm going to cover that page. Phase 1. This one just feels weird. That's all. Could you crop down, scale up to meet the kind of height requirements that you already established? Phase 2, do the same thing here. See, kind of has a weird space that doesn't need to be there. Good, legible. Simple. All right. Only thing I don't really get is scale. Like how big is it? I guess I see it in the models. Do any person writing it? No. Would I like one? Yeah. I'm gonna leave that open to you. Casseroles, everything around me. Lifestyle sneakers, various elements. Mood board, cool. Line A up with this line right here, please. And I also want all your spacing to be equal. So too small, I think that's a good size. Apply it to the ones that are too big. Cost, function, stain resistance, functionality, market. All right, so what do you do with it? Sketches, we gotta fix this up. Three-phase is cool. All right, you're talking about the better grip on the ground, pressure on the foot. What did you tell me you were going to solve? Drive down costs, increase function and stain resistance. If this isn't where you're going, then you didn't solve your own problem. Right? At the very end, if you're not talking about various environments, you're wrong. Equal cube. I wonder if the graphic to the right, you do the wrong thing to communicate more effectively. Because step 1 and step 2 visually should come before step 3. So if you flip the fishes on top and the plants on bottom, that means step 1 and 2 can be up top and step 3 can be on bottom. Market research, kill the background. It's more distracting. Or make it even lighter, one of those two options. Also, yeah, text got really small. You got to maintain a certain. I always just don't go any smaller than this. I know sometimes you have to, but like this is legible. When it gets smaller, it makes it more difficult. Oh man, sorry. I think it's a good idea to get rid of concept. Like it doesn't do anything for me. If you want to assign something, assign a name. Granted, not easy to do that. Especially if you're going to get rid of one, get rid of concept one top and give this thing a name. Prototyping, cool, I understand. Potential function. Highest water level. You got some problems here. One, it's difficult for me to realize that that's glass. Two, this needs to look more like water. Like I almost don't see it. I wanted to look for it, but it's kind of not there. Faucet. There's really a faucet here? It's kind of a weird place to have a faucet. Will I read that? Probably not. So make sure there's nothing really essential. Capital T there. Rendering, it needs, there you go, needs some plants. Like that's what its job is, to do plants. So if possible, what's up with this window? Like I got clouds over there, but over here there's nothing but green grass. My biggest thing is like I should see some light emission and I see some plants. I mean that's what it's there to do. And I see it over here too, so I'm kind of expecting replication. Project 3. Let's see if there's anything really offensive. I mean, I've looked at this multiple times. Okay. Banshee. Okay. Five-week project. Yes, these concepts could amplify sound and provide shade. Now, why did you pick the one you picked? What is this going to be? Add more context for differentiation. Cool. I want to know about your decision process. Like, personally, I find that more aesthetically attractive. For me, this is a bit edgy for the environment, so why this direction? Cost definitely has a part to play in it. It's funny, like, this is definitely a good approach, helping me understand like what this thing would look like when it's installed. These people aren't really benefiting from stage or what's it called, a performance. So what if you had a person just kind of over here reading, somebody lounging in the grass having a picnic? Cool, thank you, I get it now. It does not go there. What's the point of ending it like this though? What are you trying to communicate? Yeah, I guess up until this point, I don't see it three-dimensionally in its environment. So maybe that's what you're trying to go for? Last mile solution, solve a problem concerning last mile. What if you put this red blob behind the person? Because right now it feels it's over the top. Message at the graphic, keep the core concept. I totally agree with you, yeah. Also, 3 different font styles, that's what I'm reading here. So this is all one graphic, that's fine. This details that. I wonder, these kind of, how do we fix? Maybe initial questions. You make a divide right here, all your graphics or your storyboards disappeared. And then, how do we address this? How do we address this? How do we address this? Or maybe it's in a 2-sentence deal when you're talking about these things. Maybe, I'm not really sure about it yet. Excuse me. Okay, over there at Key Insights, I don't read none of them. It's just too much. I don't want to commit myself. Current solutions, there's an opportunity. Cool. I goes here initially. Is that where you want it to go? I like red. I go here, and then I go here, and then here, and then there. So the volume's good, but why are you showing me the volume? And is my attention being drawn towards the correct things? Initial concepts. There's a little bit of tightness here, especially towards the bottom. So options, take 1 or 2 bullet points away, or scale down, scale down, scale down. That way you can fit that much. All right, what'd you learn? It's in the back, good. Wheel size is good. Cool. Refinement. Let's see if there's any other ways you're doing this. So all your page headers have been on. Just like get rid of it. Like I see you're doing a scooter, and so if you like throw scooter developments, like what did you develop? I would throw that guy away and then give me a call out that's a bit more legible. I did this to achieve this, or I forgot this little detail, I added it in here. Introducing this, scale up, put it all right here. What are these things new? Is there a better way to, do you want your text on the inside or text on the outside? I think text on the inside's okay. It's just kind of you're referencing, see, you're referencing things across it. Whereas if you flip-flop this, this comes over here. I don't know. I want to avoid this issue. So is it image details, image details? Phantom Troop. Spider Troop. This is a cutoff? If it's a cutoff, punch me in the nose. As hard as you can. It will feel less bad. All right, downside of using all caps is it's harder to read. So I'd like to see this done in uppercase and lowercase. Really, I would say campfires, bringing them closer to friends and family. Like that's the emotional thing. Warmth and comfortable comes as a benefit, but if I was just sitting in a woods by myself, I'd be warm, I wouldn't be comfortable, and I wouldn't be close to my friends. So grab the emotions here. And then maybe there's a different way to grab. If the text was gray, and then when you go bold and black, that's what I read next. We gotta get it. We gotta get some different images. One, just let's see. I don't mind them being on white because I know you're talking about current solutions. I think they need names. So name this, name this. So these are things you're going away from. Harmful emissions, sure. Are you interested in this idea? It just doesn't look good. Feels like some type of bug. You're talking about current solutions. This is really a design opportunity. Possible solutions. I might fuse this together. Leveraging old technology and new materials. For me, this is a bit of a stretch. One, like the sketches are so small, I can only see like the later 4. I'd rather go full page with this. Early ideation, I learned this. Mid ideation, learned this. It's just like you're telling me what you learned, and I want to see it and understand like how it applies, but it's too small to apply. All right, somehow you've got to give me inner dome. Which one of these do you show inner dome? Here? Oil basin. Here? Where is the air vent? That's the grip. I got it. Is that the air vent? So I just want you to contextualize, put this closer, have a leader. Show me where it goes. All right. Moving right along. Oh, Cobra. I'm having some problem reading here. Let me take your coat. I like what you're doing, but could we increase legibility? True. Now, once you said it's covered up or hidden, I'm like, is it in this room? Where is it? I want to avoid this orphan. So utility organic. How about we do honest, seamless, and then poise clean. Use it for organic. Enter and geometric at the bottom. Maybe that'll read better. I think you're working on that. Going to redo sketches. Don't redo all of them. It's just I want them. Well, you're kind of being redundant. So it looks like they're scale them up so I can see what's happening. Development, working on it. Final renders. What's up with this gray line? Is that you? White balance. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Oh, doing it. All right, research. Do I feel that way? Yes. This page doesn't look good, Kimmy. One, you gave me a pie chart. Like every pie chart I've ever seen. Am I offended by it? Yes. Additionally, like your colors should resemble each other, right? So the blue should match the blue, the handle should be blue. The orange should be an orange carrot and orange text. Help control if that's the goal, it should be big. And Meowmix should have already been mentioned up front. It was, so we don't need it on the next page. So what in the biscuits do we do? I might just go to Pinterest and Google research design page or research infographic. Is there an opportunity out there? Sorry, I'm getting flustered over here. If you did a cat bowl and then you divide it up into sections, I would get context, but just a pie chart, Portion control, mess free. Yes, but divide it, right? I can't really read this because that one's a bit of a mess because it's over something. Is it a left and a right? And if that's the case, maybe you drop a very thin line down the middle and make sure I can read mess free and portion control. How do I know what you're going after those things? Right? This needs to be more apparent. Get rid of Meowmix, move this up some, throw a line. How might we help portion control and decrease mess? Left and right. Prototyping, get rid of these because all I want to do is understand scale. I don't need exact measurements. These things need shadows, are kind of flying up in space. Series of use, sure. Served a cat. Why do I think it's funny? Feed ferocious feline. That's a bad Photoshop. If you turn this into me, I will not talk to you ever again. What do we do? What do we do? Because like it doesn't look exciting. Man, it's not exciting. It's just cat food. Well, you're the one trying to get a job using cat food. So how do we make it more exciting? One, get that up and scale it down a little bit. Is there any point you talk about the benefits? Because your two things were, well, actually, nutritional value is important, portion control, and no mess. Do you talk about portion control? Yes. How do I know it's no mess? How can you prove that? Do it now, get in the chopper. Golf bag. Alright, why are we cut off here? Maybe that's just the first page. Alright, we scaled question. No. Okay. I don't know why it's showing up as 2 pages each, but it shouldn't because everything is 1 page each. I didn't do anything. See, we want to avoid this at all costs because if I'm looking at your portfolio, I want to just get into the content, not wrestle with this. Former processes? Well, what do you mean? Explain some of the challenges we have because like you're just showing golf clubs and bags, and I believe the challenge is to protect all of that. So one, what is the problem? What is the challenge of getting golf clubs around? And then you can get more specific into hard case, soft case, target markets. Goal. I feel like this is the first time I'm looking at this, and if this is true, no problems. No, don't do concept like this. Is this really the first time I'm seeing this? So this is what I can see. Soft, better, hard, soft, right? I'm sure there's information that helps you make decisions, but I want to understand what it is. What does LOL have to do with anything? I'm not sure you've been listening to any of my presentations. A couple of reasons. You've got 3 different font sizes on your body text, and you have a bolded font that's not in the same family. That's why I told us to pick text. Like a text family has multiple font options. I'm really curious right now. Let's see if we can wrong find. Where's the third one at? Anyways, it feels like this is the first time I'm looking at this. I'm not really sure this is in version 3. I just have to answer this question because, like, if this is the first time I'm looking at it, I'm not going to give you any more feedback. Like, you're not engaging the system. Like, it feels like this is really behind. Edition 1. Alright, we're to our previous class. I don't know where it's finding this other one, but I don't see it. Moving on. Alright, first page, regardless, is the number 1 important? For me, no, I don't like labeling projects. I see something weird here. It's like there's a reflection. What is that a reflection of? That? What's happening here? Portability size, storage, price. Got it. Now what? Portability, storage, price. You told me the same thing twice. Which one I think is more attractive? Let's go with option A. It's more colorful. Prototyping. What are you trying to achieve? What are your goals? Which, if these are the goals, size, size to write on, or I guess size, that one is writing size. This is storage. Oh, crap. That's storage size. What do you mean by portability? Price. Price is important but difficult for us to work on. So I need you to make sure I know you're exploring ideas of size, price, portability, storage. Are you doing that? All right, so you're doing comfort or size, right? What are we working on? Portability. This is a hot mess. Too much visual stuff on one page. You could make this in 2 pages and make more sense. But you're detailing everything on one page. What I'd like to see is one large overall, like one macro, and then start detailing micro elements. I feel like I've given feedback on that before. Get rid of Lucas Riddle because this is your portfolio. You'll tell me your name at the beginning. Bold information here. This is good information. Is there any other way to say, like, how important is that sentence? My first inclination is to get rid of it. Take touch, sound, visual, types of play types, and then put this underneath. All right, as you adventure these things, what concepts are you exploring? We're talking about using the colors. I get scale-ish there. How does it work? We don't know. Placeholder, know it. Placeholder, know it. Why did you do a CAD model? What were you needing it to learn? Cost material. Font change, right? Legible, barely legible. I'd rather you knock or bump that up some. We still talk about the, well, one, you wanted this in more of a darker setting. Two, how do I know that this can happen? The three different possibilities. I think it's a really interesting potential to your lamp. It's like you can have a design of the design, but if I don't read into your very small text, I don't know that. So how do you make that more apparent if it's important to you? Crap. Well, that's not what I wanted. Where was I? Past this. Dang it, a waste of time. Sorry, guys. I'm getting information that's not even beneficial. So is life. Version 3 should maybe be in finals. I feel like I'm lost. Small. Version 4. Yes, I should be in version 4 as agreed. Double checking I'm back in the right spot. Yes. All right, most important things. Last mile problem. Cost effective until last leg of trip. What do you mean? Cost effective until the last leg of trip. Mode of travel, highway, reason, errands. I would say commuting is a reason why. Last mile. Urban travel, less than 3 miles. Rural travel is over or under? I don't know. Is that really important? Stability, too small. Can't see any of those things. Top speed, is that important? Charge time, that does seem important. In cities, in CITES. So, fix that. Throw a graphic on the left, that way you're consistent. And then, if this is a testing the all existing alternatives, this isn't really testing the existing alternatives. So this needs just kind of, why is this information here and how is it relevant? Ideation, what are you trying to solve? Get rid of this perspective box. We passed that. Too small to see. I don't know what it is. And when you go into small details, I don't know what we're looking at. Oh, I remember ripping you a new one on this project last time. The biggest thing you can help me is what are you going for? What are your goals? Show me research. What things does your concept need to have? And then how do you develop those things? Before you show micro pieces, I better see a macro and know where they come from. This is a bit confusing because like it's a pretty big campus. I mean, if I go from Wallace up to Aerospace, that's a 10-minute walk. And like this thing should help me do my last mile, and it probably is a mile. So having the charging stations this like far out, maybe there's reasons behind it. I don't recognize these places though. Electric grocery cart. Where are you talking about groceries at? Errands. You didn't talk about no groceries. Groceries, groceries, groceries. So that's why I'm confused. You can't just throw this at the end of me. It needs to solve the problem of groceries. What do you mean by this? I don't see a display. I see two like thumb buttons, and one should be red and one should be green, so I know what does which. That's a mean trick. Damn it, Nick. It's like somebody just left these things on the side of the road. Look at this. If they're gonna leave a bike like this, do you really want to leave your new equipment like that? Construction. Look at this abandoned. Like, how do these go together? Is this graffiti on the wall? What are we going for? Present your goodness in a better light. Look pretty. How's it work? 1, 2, 3, got it. I'm not going to read that because I got it from the graphic. Produce 10 times crop, 9% less water usage. They grow fast. I was wondering if your font size is a little bit small to read. Leave it. This might be my old eyes. I don't know. Why do I see this page? What are their needs? I want to know their needs before I keep on going. Efficient, convenient, beautiful, ecological, sketch design process. What's up with the quotation marks? Have you done that before? Sure. Doesn't help, doesn't hurt. It's a little confusing, but we'll let it go. Yes, tell me how you're solving these problems. If they're important, and I bet they are, what pieces are you working into here? It might be good to use your margins, like I explore these ideas here, I explore these ideas here, I explore these ideas here. Structural details. If it is details, that's a lot of information. And not that it's bad information, but your job as a designer to give me a hierarchy of information, tell me what's important first. So what I'm expecting, if you're talking about details here, show me a big one, like that blown up, and the most important details. Shouldn't be that many. What did you learn from your prototypes? Let's get rid of this. And rather you write information here, information here, information here. Is it possible to zoom up and then crop down to get a bit more width in these images? That one has a potential, that has a potential, that one probably locked, we can't move it. Did we just change colors? Teal, like green, green. Blue green to green green. What's up with that? How the system works now, question about this. Why didn't you put this how the system works when you're talking about hydroponics? Why is it coming into the story so late? Fundamental details. How does it work? Why am I looking at details? Cool. People are not only care about growing food. Have someone who speaks English. Two things, right? If you have no interest in applying to an American jobs, still write it in English. That way I can give you feedback. But ultimately, I know it's going to change to probably Chinese. If you are applying to American jobs, have someone who speaks English as their first language to just proofread it so it has better flow. But I mean, it should have plants. I mean, that's the point of it, to have plants. And will I understand this, the nutrient flow? All right, I'm out of this project. Oh boy. Ice cream. I'm not talking about this during class. I do feel like I see some improvements. These look pixelated. Presentation. What are some of the project goals? I know you're wanting better portion control, but if you are making packaging, it has to look desirable. I mean, I just don't want a scoop of ice cream on a plate and be like, that's all I get. Dang. But spheres are cool. So yes. Not so much. That doesn't get me excited. Like, I need to see them beautifully shown off in these packages. Make it look desirable. Do you throw ice cream in this? Good. I want to see it on a plate. Cool. All right. How do you get these things out? Just curious. I bet we're going to see some nice renders, but will we see anything else? Ton of info. Not going to read it. Scott Phillips. Meh. 6 main functions. Profile, products, explore, recipes, settings. I count 5. I wonder if jumping into the app first is the best solution for here. Because one, like, I know the problem is you just did research. I don't know what the outcomes are. You did app. What does the app solve? It looks pretty, but I think you need to get into aquaponics first. Talk about system, introduce the app, and then show how the entire system works together. That's my vote. The more I look at this, the weirder it is. If the water, dang it. We're just kind of pickle. Like, we need context. What is up with your hand right here? What do we do? Because I think you've made a good decision, but the downside is it's still kind of distracting. I'll let you pick on this. Decide what to do with this bit of information. Because, like, I'm still seeing, like, crazy background stuff, and when I see this cup, it kind of opens up other questions. What if you did a line drawing of a cup? What if you did a line drawing around the hand, and you left this as is, and you left these as is? That way I still get what you're doing, but bring attention to what's most important instead of me getting distracted. Or you can do nothing. I prefer the change. Is it going to make a break? No, it's just kind of weird. I want to see a goldfish in there. User study. It might be worth kind of bolding a little bit here, because you're telling me something's important. Maybe bold in red. That way I have a correlation. And I'm not really sure you need consolidated. I don't know. I haven't seen it until now. Here you can use a consolidated container logo. But after a while, it's like it's just taking up space. Is it really giving you any benefit? Nah. What I want to do is, same ones. was expecting these to be a before and after. I don't know why I read it like that. So, but it is. Yeah, I'll wait till the next one drops to give you feedback on that. Alright, now that I went to your old one, let's look at the new one. Could we like darken the background? I'm having a little bit of a hard time reading it. I'm just getting distracted by all the stuff around it. So knock the back image so it has less priority. Alright, you research these places. What did you learn from it? Concept of time, audible cues. Is there any way to bring more attention to that? I mean, if you did the word in like red or blue, that starts to set up like what are your project goals? Good. Almost. I'm looking for these concepts, right? So orange, I don't see it. I see red, I see yellow. You don't have a yellow. So I'm not seeing how these requirements are fitting into your sketches. Cool. This is my perception, which is subject to being wrong, but when you get full red, I would say that you are out of time. So green is good when you have it, your playing time, when red's gone. So flipping the colors to me makes sense. If not, what's your rationale? Also, just having problems reading counts, decreases, meh. So how can we make that more legible? And don't do the Clark Lindale drop shadow. Find another way to do it. Same thing, don't. I did like it on Playground. Would you have two of them this close to one another? I don't know. I'm not faulting it. It might be crazy. I don't know. But it feels like the ones up there had things turned in the same order. This one's much better. Photoshop. What's up with that? 12 weeks, electric scooters. Okay. Last mile problem. Make these bubbles just a little bit bigger. Maybe add a color. It could be like the same color. So dark blue, lighter blue, lighter blue, lighter blue. What is the thing? Blue? Yeah, throw it in. Alright, I'm looking for these things. I don't want to see repetitions. I want to see interpretation. Maybe doing this in like a light blue would be better. The reason why is like I didn't see these initially. So how to bring more attention to the thing you're trying to detail. Current scooters features and what needs to change. These just needs different imagery. I don't know what the background image is. I also wondered, instead of this zag going up here into nothing, if the zag continues to right there. Or a different angle, because I'm like, what's the point? Please center align these. All right, two things. If you're going to talk about information, currently your sketches are, most of them are too small for me to understand why I'm seeing what I'm seeing. It's like there's two levels. I guess it could work out, right? These are the things that need to happen. And as you're like going through your sketches, link back to like this concept increases overall foot space, delivering comfort. Cool, but it doesn't feel right being written in like a printed font. I feel like it needs to be legible handwriting. What did you do? Why did you do it? Okay. This is better. I mean, at least I'm getting context, right? I'm getting macro and micro. Mobility option. Is this kind of forced? I want to see it collapse, but I don't know if mobility option is the best one. This is a bit redundant. I actually killed that one off. I think this does a better representation. Man, person lives on the edge. Look at all those knee and elbow pads. Like, if this is the same person, it would make sense. But since it's not, it's like one of these has to go because it's not, it doesn't really like the same. So what I might do, sorry, now that I exit out of there, last page, just do it with the same person. I know it sounds difficult, but it feels right. What changes will we see? Same. Just waiting. Get rid of the lipsum, or lipsum, Lauren Ipsum. Okay, waiting. Yep. All right. Not much change. Waiting for your changes, man. The stork. Let's read about the stork. Last mile problem. Existing solutions. How can these solutions not only advance the process of transportation, but enhance, make this more like normal person talk? How might we successfully address last mile transportation and enhance that experience for our users? User needs, rather than the lived in between and after. Is that supposed to go? Current electric scooters are only getting people from point A to P rather than the lived in between and after. All right, but it needs to be in the same sentence. Like, you're not, it's a comma, that should be lowercase, and it should be in line with it. They need these things. All right. Cool, you sketch portable, collapsible, and efficient. How are you making it portable? How are you making it collapsible? How are you making it more efficient? How are you showing that it's portable, collapsible, and efficient? Cool. The biggest, how are you going to strap that on? You're going to lose your groceries. I'm going to be angry because I ain't got no food. And really, stork's written backwards? Come on. Why? I wonder if like a step 1, step 2, step 3 might be better here. Yeah, biggest problem is like, you tell me that these are the important things. They need portability, compact, efficiency. So how are you integrating those elements into your solution? Okay. I would like some text on this page. Why is this a good solution? What are the needs? Don't touch, single serving, enjoyable. No touch, single serve, enjoyable. I guess so. I don't feel the project ends. Like you're talking about, well, we don't want to cut off. We never want to cut off. Just show me this, but show me compressed or show me it opened. Let's see. Come on, come on. Like what I want to see at the end is the fulfillment of your criteria. I don't want to see somebody touching it. I want to see somebody serving it to their cat. I'd like to see single service packaging. I don't know. More justification why this is a good solution. Maybe show me how it works without it being kind of gross. How many do I have? I might make it, although I am getting weary. Oh, make it stop, make it stop, make it, okay. Okay. Fine. Hit enter and put OE handbrake on the one line, please. Hit enter on D, maybe inconsistent braking will be bumped over. As drifting expands, the need for improvements grows larger. Okay, so what's wrong with them? Alright, not really sure if that page does me any good. The handbrake market is full of bulky units that get in the way. How can you kind of bring my attention like, alright, this is an impingement, that's an impingement. Like, direct me to where it's a problem. Price and size. Maybe clearance might be a better word. Right, because it could be as big as you want it to as long as it didn't get in the way of anything. Actually, say bigger gives you better grip, arguably. And how do we kind of divide this? Because it feels like this information. Actually, under here in red text, market opportunity. That'll give me understanding there. And then maybe like this is kind of 50-50 page. Cool, same cost. Visually looks good. I think you need to, don't ever give me hyphenations. Or I'll just quit looking at your stuff. I'm being serious. Is it possible to like bleed these out the top? It's like, what's happening here? Or outline this in a very thin black line. Because when you bleed off to an edge, it just like, all right, well, where'd the image go? Also bolding these, it's just a lot of information. I'm not gonna go look for everything, waiting on this. A lighter gray line. Tested. All right, why is it a good solution? Like just kind of drop me a little sentence as a tertiary visual element. I wonder if you're showing too much, right? And solved. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do we need them all? I like to see if you can just cut out a page. Talk about getting rid of that. Talk about changing this. The market is for urban people. I don't know what the problem is yet. Aquaponic system. Okay, well, what are aquaponic systems? Introduce aquaponic systems first. Introduce a brief. Who is it for? I told you to make changes on those. Are distracting. What is tier? This page has hierarchy issues. I'd like to see this text in that size. Devin Wilson needs to be close to a picture of Devin Wilson. You need to make your own graphic. It's difficult. I can read it, but I'm distracted by the background. So either push the background so it's less distracting, or make your your text more bold. I don't think we should just throw inspiration, because what's the point of it? I mean, I know you used hexagons. Hexagons are great, but what are the problems you need to solve? What are some challenges of integrating aquaponics into larger systems? I don't know. So you should be answering those questions in sketches. All right, how does it work? You got to show me. Could you try something for me, please? One, I need to circle around here because this feels like she has a border. This doesn't feel like she has a border, so I need a border established. In a light line, if you draw here and you draw these coming together, so this is the team, and then you circle this rounded edged rectangle. Not an ellipse, rounded edge, rectangle, just saying we did these things. This has to change to our goal, not my goal. Finding pain points. Well, you gotta do your own, because I can't have a not copyrighted, but a watermarked image. And what are they? I need to know. Is this page done? Like, I wanted the income. I know. Oh, come on. I wanted the outcomes of the research that you did. What are the pinpoints? And then how do you translate those into possible solutions? Need text here. Text here. All right, I look at this, I'm like, all right, you got rid of how big it is, which might be problematic, and you scaled down a few things. So why is it a superior solution? Same thing with this one. Placeholder. Right now it just feels like the lobby displays, you're going to throw it in there. So it feels like you're adding content, but just tell me it's a placeholder, that way I don't get crazy. Wayfinding might justify saying, all right, this is what it looks like, and this is how someone would experience it. Something like a sequence of use. Leafy fish. It's a little bitty leafy fish. How are we doing? Good. Audio's still good? Great. What is aquaponics? Good question. Could you really just get together in one integrated system? Is that one word? Yo, this text is weird, man. All right, kill this off. What is aquaponics? Look at the visuals. I don't know what DWC is. And I don't know what a media bed is. Aquaponic process. If you can repeat something like this graphic over here, aquaponic process and aquaponic system, do them both in the same style, I could probably fill in the blanks. All right, how to keep it beautiful, easy, spell checked, to maintain, how to let people out. If this is not part of your goals, then don't put it in here. So simple, beautiful, easy to maintain, intuitive. Let's look at the very end. I want to see if you answer this question. Is it easy to maintain? It's floating. I don't like floating. Floating things don't make sense because it doesn't float. It sits on a bottom. Is it intuitive? Prove it to me. Let's use the words intuitive watering system. Make sure I don't miss it. Hey, you and your classmate has a similar idea. Alright, make sure simple and beautiful. Beautiful, sure, but easy to maintain and intuitive to use. Make sure if these are your criteria that you either tell me why you didn't follow them or show me how you followed them. Considerations, if you would, kind of bold the word considerations, and then H, T, and P should make like an implied line. So indent, 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 indent. Don't do orphans if they can be avoided. All right. So what were you thinking about when you're doing these sketches? What were the outcomes? All right. Why is this a good solution? As you prototyped it, what did you learn? How the mechanical builds like I know that, but why is that important? Because it needs to be intuitive, right? It's very visual. What's up with the weird space over here? Why are we seeing this again too? Because we went sketches. Why'd you come back? I don't know. How is this different from this system? Like why did you even CAD it up? Oh, I love that. I mean, you could have told me it's bigger than human use, or taller than most humans. I'm assuming he's 6 foot. Is there any other full-scale image? Maybe here a light silhouette, or here a light silhouette. And logo development just feels get thrown in there. What I might do is like I'd save this guy and make your portfolio, or let me think about this in terms of online content. You'd upload the project on the my brain's leaving, the aquaponics system, and then at the very end it's like, would you like to see more branding on this project? And then go to it, because here it's just thrown in, it doesn't make sense. Alright, I'll get to that in a second. Schmuckers. Cool. Problem. I wonder if your font's too small. I'm not going to read all that. It's like you went crazy with the highlighter. And when you go crazy with the highlighter, nothing is special. So, less changes need to be made in the way. Okay, what are they? And I hope it's not this, because after this I'm going to the next page. I don't like sweets. Instead of doing this, which is just like throwing information at me when I really don't care about it, how could you make people say these things? So I think a person's face, bubble, and they said these things, put it in like dialogue, person's face, dialogue, person's face, dialogue. You can do professional, you can do that if you want to. What are the goals? What are you trying to achieve? Okay, I agree, they're picky, but what do you need to change in order for this to be viable in the cat food industry of food products? Increase nutritional value, eliminate odors, eliminate utensils. And this is it. That's a lot. That's a lot to do. Did y'all really try to increase the nutritional value? That's not really up to y'all. Y'all are more packaging and portion control. So what are the things that you were going after? I need to understand how these are solving those ideas. You modeled it. Congratulations. But what did you learn from doing the model? Or Yeah, I need a reason. You modeled it to learn something, or model it to show something. What was that? And once again, I'm confused whether there's one or two. Here, I don't see one or two. Here, I guess I do, but really I didn't notice it again because I'm like, oh, that one has a cap, that one doesn't have a cap. Cool. I see white foam model, cardboard. They must be the same things. Why is it being redundant? And then I go to this next one, and I'm like, oh, is it two or not? This needs to be aligned under this. We don't need Meow Mix on every page. You know why? Because at the beginning you said it was Meow Mix, and I believe you. I'd rather just show the packages. That food is ugly. It's not you, it's just the food's ugly. Zach Willard. That name's familiar. Thank you. I think this might need to be bolder. Spell check. Yeah. Okay. You prototype to learn what? I'd rather you kind of do some call outs like this little. How do I avoid that little guy? I don't know. This is for that. That's for that. That's for that. This is for that. This is for that. Like, direct me to what's important. I don't think you can show it in the collapsed version initially. You can show it later, but initially it doesn't make sense. Instead of one, you got the window pane, right? As soon as you do this, you window pane it up. What I'd rather you do, or just give me let's do all white background. Let's have these two white ones to the left. Do a very light, very thin border around it. Have your dark ones to the right. Kind of treat them the same way. Leave them dark. Placeholder. It's getting there. I mean, you definitely started behind the 8-ball, but it's getting there. What was that? Okay. This is why I was kind of a little bit. I submitted one more refined version after the critique. Well, you should have put this on the other one. Right? Haven't looked at yours yet? Am I crazy? Yes. I already looked at it. Is there anything else? Still ain't fixed that. I need macro, micro to be rendered. Okay. The only thing you can say is like after this one, because when you comment it moves it, just say like don't read this one. That would be a bit helpful, but I got it. Hoyt. Drip drip. Never gets old. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. Got it. Current issues. Bugs. Fish access and exposed pipes. How are we going to solve those things? For a family. I like your detailing. I think that's smart. Is this necessary? I'm not reading it, but is it necessary? Because visually I don't like it so much. Final form sketching. Go back to our previous video. I feel like I had better words for this. Because it's not like, form is important, but it's not just about form. Component study, fine with that. Drip. Cool, I like the way it's done. What's inside, how does it work? Nutrient flow. Was it done MS Paint? Is this like an entire tank reservoir and you just put like a little dollop of water? I'd say finish this out, please. Why does it go two directions? What is this for? Is this for oxidants? Bell siphon controls how long the water rests in the bed. Alright. I think this could be done better. Components. Cool. Alright. There's a page missing. I will upload a full version. This is it. The eggs. Meowmix is a weird logo. I feel like the A needs to start here. Cat knowledge. That's super weird. Isn't important. How do you apply your cat knowledge? And if it's not important, why are you showing it to me? I think we could just change colors on these. So questions are always in orange. Answers maybe are in gray or indented a little bit over. That way, question, answer, question, answer. So it's dialogue a little bit kind of like iPhone message conversations. Design sketches. At some point, you got to tell me, like, what are you asked to do? Because you're doing food design, packaging, spell check design, food package design, and package design. What's the difference? I just want to know why you did what you did, and I'm a bit confused. And I think the sketches are pretty good. I wouldn't gray them out. I just want you to bring attention to them. This is good. It's not gross. I'm fine with that. That's kind of gross. Maybe I'll leave that out. This is concept 1, concept 2. I'd rather you we were asked to develop 2 concepts. Concept 1, explain it. Next page, concept 2, explain it. Right? I want to know this is number 1 and this is number 2. How can you show that to me? Picture here, okay. Cat purse, cat egg. Cat egg wins. What does that mean? Alright, waiting on content for this. This also seems rather new. I'm not sure if I've seen this before. And if I haven't seen it before, that means you missed all the previous uploads. Let's see what I think. Alright, we're talking about aquaponic systems. Imagine, I don't know, an aquaponic system. How does it work? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it repeats. Okay, got it. Research, you're installing it to a tiny house. It should probably be pretty small. Opportunities, I feel like these should be more bolded. There's a huge market. I wouldn't really call it huge, but there is a notable market, significant market, not huge. I agree, they need small size solutions. Spell check. Okay. Make sure I know you're making these small products. What does this mean? Because it's like, if you don't have a lot of storage space, of course it needs to be small. Small and cost efficient, is that what you're going for? Also, keep in mind, you explained an aquaponic system like this. So you need plants, a reservoir, and some fishes. Here, you better be referencing plant, reservoir, and fishes, because that's what it needs to have to be an aquaponic system. If not, you got to inform me. Large problem. Does this fit into a small home? Because you just said it's for tiny homes. And then I come down here and see that it's like 5 feet tall. It weighs 200 pounds. Has a something something gallon fulfillment tank. I don't get it. Ignore this one, newer one. This one was uploaded or later in the afternoon. I'll look at it. Please. Please. Okay. Bad things happen. Alright, it needs to be well made, easy to transport, self sufficient. Got it. Hydroponic systems. You got it. Alright, so you do have aquaponics. This is how aquaponic works. They're not designed for a prepper. Cool. It needs to be self-sufficient, easy to transport to be for a prepper, right? So those are some things I'm going to look for later. Still sketching. Cool. So refined concept, cool. Modifications. All right, so the shape I'm not so worried about because you tell me it needs to be well-made, easy to transport, self-sufficient, like Magpul. And then when you get down to here, is it self-sufficient? Maybe. Is it, come on, I'm getting tired. Well-made or easy to transport? Well-made, sure. Is it easy to transport? That's going to be a no. This thing's already top heavy. Maybe that's easy to transport, but if those are your goals, and then you go to this, how is this easier to transport and more fitting to the lifestyle? Let me see. I'm just looking through real fast. Just font choices. I like bigger and bolder, but I think it's too much. Take the things that are bigger and bolder and make them a little bit less bold. I want to be able to read it naturally. Actually, I think this is good. Like you're telling me, I took this idea and integrated it, and took this idea and integrated it. How it works, good. It's a little rough looking, but I do get the idea. I wonder if they need to say is extendable. I think you could just say it here. The system extends to allow space for growing crops and safety. Right? If you say that, then I understand it's extendable. Easy access to fish and crops. Yeah, that's what I would do. Take images, put them to the bottom, get rid of extendable aquaponic, take those two sentences, move them up. Desert tiger, snow bear. It's a bit over the top, but like that's you, so I'm gonna let it be what it is. I split the last two pages into two. Please see it in the new file. Which one is the new file? This one. All right. NSC Museum, we got it. Why? Let's see. What's the most important information? That's the biggest. I am shy high. The retention rate. It looks good. So after you do research, you analyze in persona what are their unique needs, not so much goals. Needs and fears. Maybe these are wants? Alright, what is the POID method? I've never heard of that before. Is this your interaction flowchart? I guess it is. It's just weird seeing it on a document because like I want to understand how it works, and really you would, I don't know, I don't want it in a book. I want it to be understand how it works and then see someone use an app and go through the actual flowchart. Sketching, I don't know if that's necessary or not. I mean, it's not bad. It's just like, is this a logo design project or a app design project? I feel like it's more app design. Splash screen, home screen. Only thing with these is I might maintain the same height with these and space them out a little bit better, because I'm not really sure if there's any overlap between the separate screens. And my screen just changed. Cool. Alright, I do like you bringing more attention to how it solves a problem. Alright. Why are we seeing cold facts? Why can't they be warm? Are you writing this or is this feedback? Other features and test. I'm not really sure the usefulness of this page. Alright, last one. You know what I said like last time? This is like the same thing. Well, I don't think you're listening to me in class. So if you want to talk about this, we can find my office hours and we can talk about it. But you're not listening to what I'm saying, so what's the point? All right. Good night, everyone.